This is 1 hour of the best universe modes in WWE 2K23. I made the best universe mode, but it's 1998, and Vince McMahon is determined to screw Stone Cold Steve Austin by any means necessary. Will he be successful? Let's find out. Week 1 kicks off with the chairman of the World Wrestling Federation, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, addressing the fans, letting them know that the days of Stone Cold as the World Wrestling Federation champion are numbered. He has chosen The Undertaker to face Stone Cold in 3 weeks at SummerSlam. Vince states that he didn't want to make this decision, but that Steve has left him with no choice but to do what's right for the company, the superstars backstage, and of course, for you, the fans. However, as Vince was saying this, Stone Cold came out and stunned the boss. Steve started celebrating with the fans to kick off Monday Night Raw. The first match of the night featured D'Lo Brown, accompanied by the leader of the Nation of Domination, The Rock, taking on the European champion and leader of EspacioNX, Triple H, with China for the European Championship. Triple H started the match very strongly, dominating D'Lo in the corner with a series of punches and then kicking D'Lo over and over again as Brown tried to mitigate the damage from those kicks. D'Lo then countered a move by Triple H and sent him against the ropes, followed by the classic drop-down leapfrog and a power slam to the champion. D'Lo was looking for a move in the ropes, but Triple H sent him flying to the outside. Once outside, Hunter inflicted more damage on D'Lo, and then he exchanged a couple of words with the Intercontinental Champion. At one point in the match, the referee got knocked down, and The Rock took advantage, hitting Hunter with a rock bottom. As The Rock hit the rock bottom on Triple H, you could see that he was probably talking smack to the European champion, who likely felt disrespected by Hunter Helmsley. As you can imagine, when the dust settled, D'Lo took advantage of the situation and hit the champion, Triple H, with his signature move, the Sky High, to win the European Championship. This action by the Nation was an immediate declaration of war against EspacioNX. Wait a minute, backstage we can see Vince McMahon speaking with Kane. Well, this was bound to happen after what happened earlier when Stone Cold stunned McMahon. I guess we will find out the meaning of this by the end of the night. In the second match of the night, we saw the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, taking on the Hardy Boys. Billy Gunn and Jeff Hardy started the match, with Billy dominating Jeff very early on. Then, Billy tagged Road Dogg into the match, and Road Dogg was looking for a move in the corner, but Hardy moved out of the way, causing Road Dogg to hit the top corner. Hardy then tagged in his brother, Matt Hardy, and together they grabbed Road Dogg and executed an innovative tag team move on him. As the match progressed, the New Age Outlaws took control once again, eventually leading to Billy Gunn hitting a Famasser on Matt Hardy to win the match. It was time for the main event, where we found out that Kane was going to go one-on-one against the World Wrestling Federation champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now we know what McMahon was doing with Kane, but the craziest thing is that we have not seen The Undertaker tonight, even though McMahon announced that he is the one taking on Stone Cold at SummerSlam for the WWF title. Maybe, and this is just a possibility, The Undertaker might be colluding with McMahon to take the belt from Austin. Stone Cold had Kane in the corner, delivering a series of kicks right to the chest of the Big Red Monster. Steve was looking for a move, but Kane countered and dropped Steve over his head almost 7 feet high. Now, Kane was dominating the match and continued by hitting Stone Cold with a huge side slam. This could be the end of the match, but Steve came back and started hitting Kane with a crazy series of elbows. Then Steve jumped over Kane, repeatedly striking the Big Red Monster in the face. Austin followed it up with a huge clothesline that sent Kane to the outside. Without wasting a second, he sent Kane face first into the ring post. That's when everything went downhill for the champion, as Mankind came from behind and attacked Austin. Kane put the cherry on top by driving Austin through the table, concluding Week 1. Week 2 of Monday Night Raw kicked off with none other than Vincent Kennedy McMahon walking proudly to the ring after what he accomplished last week when Kane and Mankind gave a beatdown to the World Wrestling Federation champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Vince addressed the fans by saying, "I told each and every one of you what was going to happen, yet you boo me and cheer for Stone Cold. Now, thanks to all of you, look what happened to Steve last week. Steve could barely walk out of the arena. And as I told you last week, the days of Stone Cold Steve Austin as your champion are numbered." That's when Kane with Paul Bearer joined McMahon in the ring. McMahon continued to say that with Kane by his side and with the help of the likes of Mankind, they are going to ensure not only that The Undertaker wins the title at SummerSlam, but most importantly, they're going to make sure that Stone Cold walks out of SummerSlam without the World Wrestling Federation title. That's why tonight, Steve is going to go one-on-one against Mankind. That's when The Undertaker joined McMahon and company in the ring. The Undertaker took a microphone and said, "I appreciate that you want to help me, but I never asked for your help, and honestly, I don't need it. If any of you keep interfering in my business, there are going to be serious consequences." That's when McMahon said, "Well, I am sad that you feel that way after what I am doing to help you become the champion once again. But if you want things to go down this way, then fine by me. But I need you to do something for me. I'm going to need you to beat this man." So it was made official. The Undertaker was set to go one-on-one against Gangrel in a singles match. The Undertaker started the match by dominating Gangrel in the corner with a series of punches right to the face, causing Gangrel to fall to the floor. The Undertaker was going for a kick, but Gangrel countered the move. Then it was Gangrel looking to hit the dead man with a clothesline, but the Undertaker countered the move and struck Gangrel with a huge boot to the face. The Undertaker then followed up with a chokeslam to Gangrel to win the match. This probably didn't make McMahon very happy, as he was likely trying to humble the Undertaker to have him on his side. In the next segment, the former European champion Triple H, joined by X-Pac in China, was set to address the fans. Triple H took a microphone and started complaining that The Rock screwed him over last week and made him lose his European Championship. Triple H then said that instead of getting a rematch for his European Championship, he is more interested in fighting The Rock for the Intercontinental Championship. He said that he wants to do to The Rock what The Rock did to him last week and take away his championship. Triple H claimed that The Rock is a coward who only attacks from behind, suggesting that The Rock is not man enough to come down here right now and accept his challenge. Then, Triple H and X-Pac started joking that instead of the Nation of Domination, they should rename themselves the Nation of Cowards. Finally, the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion came out to address the members of EspacioNX. The Rock said, "I understand that you two jabronis are mad at The Rock for losing the European Championship, but that's not The Rock's fault. EspacioNX is a bunch of jackasses, and the Nation is a group of winners." The Rock declared that he would take on anyone, anywhere, and at any time, even that jackass called X-Pac tonight. If you smell what The Rock is cooking? That's when X-Pac got livid and started saying that he accepts and that he is going to put The Rock down, while Triple H was trying to settle things down. Then Triple H looked at The Rock and said, "If you want to fight X-Pac tonight, you're on." And just like that, The Rock was set to take on X-Pac later on tonight. In the second match of the night, we saw Val Venis going one-on-one against a former Intercontinental Champion, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, in a singles match. Jeff Jarrett started the match by sending Val Venis against the ropes, followed by a drop-down, leapfrog, and a tremendous knee right to the body of Val Venis. Then Jeff Jarrett was looking for a move in the corner, but Val Venis countered and hit Jarrett with a DDT. Val Venis followed up with a series of knee shots to Jarrett's legs. Val Venis was going for a clothesline on Jarrett, who was leaning against the ropes, but at the last second, Jarrett lifted him up and dropped him against them. Now, it was Jarrett in control of the match, and Jeff was targeting Val Venis's legs. After softening him up a bit more, Jarrett attempted to lock in the figure four submission hold, and he got it. Val Venis was in a lot of pain. This might be it for him. It looks like Jeff Jarrett is going to pick this one up, but Val Venis countered the submission attempt from Jarrett, and Val Venis got out. I thought this was it for him. Jeff Jarrett can't believe it. And out of nowhere, Val Venis hit Double J with a perfect suplex to beat Jeff Jarrett and win the match. A huge win for Val Venis. In the third match of the night, X-Pac went one-on-one against the World Wrestling Intercontinental Champion and leader of the nation, The Rock. Rocky started strong, dominating the match, but X-Pac was able to escape the corner after countering a move and then hitting Rock with a drop kick. X-Pac then attempted to hit a move in the corner, but The Rock countered with a huge elbow to X-Pac's face. X-Pac then tried to clothesline Rock, but Rock dodged it and countered with a clothesline of his own. Then The Rock hit X-Pac with a spinebuster that made the crowd pop. The Rock was looking for the rock bottom, but X-Pac somehow anticipated it and hit him with a huge kick to the face. Somehow, The Rock managed to escape the submission hold. Once standing, The Rock hit X-Pac with the rock bottom to win the match, getting one over EspacioNX once again. The referee handed Rock his Intercontinental Championship while raising his hand. However, out of nowhere, Triple H rushed to the ring from backstage and hit The Rock from behind, just as The Rock did to him last week. Hunter then grabbed the Intercontinental Championship and measured Rocky. The Rock had no clue what Triple H's intentions were, and as The Rock turned around, Triple H smacked him right in the face with the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. This time, it was EspacioNX who got one over on the Nation of Domination. It was time for the main event, where the World Wrestling Federation champion Stone Cold Steve Austin was set to go one-on-one against Mankind in a singles match. The two wrestlers started the match right in the middle of the ring, countering each other's moves. Austin was able to take the upper hand in this exchange and finally hit Mankind with a running bulldog. Then Austin was hitting Mankind with his classic stomp in the corner, hitting Mankind over and over again, but out of nowhere, Kane appeared and he hit Austin with a chokeslam. Now both Kane and Mankind were assaulting Austin together. But wait, the dead man, The Undertaker, is here. Taker pulled Mankind from the ring to the outside. Taker had told McMahon earlier not to get involved in his business. McMahon was asking The Undertaker not to do it, but the dead man did it regardless. Vince McMahon could not believe it. The World Wrestling Federation champion and the #1 contender were working together, and that was the end of Week 2. Week 3 kicked off with the World Wrestling Federation champion Stone Cold Steve Austin. Steve took a microphone and addressed what happened last week. He told the fans that although he never asked The Undertaker to come down and help him, Stone Cold appreciated the help. However, he made it crystal clear that he wasn't dumb enough to trust the dead man. In fact, Austin still suspected that all of them might be working together. But in true Stone Cold fashion, he declared that it didn't damn matter to him one bit. That's when The Undertaker came out to confront Steve. The dead man said that he did not come down to help him, but he warned Vince McMahon not to get involved in his business. He claimed that he alone, without any help, can take that World Wrestling Federation championship from around Steve's waist. Steve said that before their match this week, he has one thing he needs to do, and that's whoop Vince McMahon all over the arena tonight. McMahon surprisingly accepted the challenge from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the two will go one-on-one tonight in the main event. In the first match of the night, representing the Nation of Domination, The Rock and D'Lo Brown took on the team representing EspacioNX, Triple H, and X-Pac, accompanied by China. The match started with The Rock and X-Pac in the ring. X-Pac sent Rocky to the ropes, but The Rock countered X-Pac with a DDT. Then The Rock took X-Pac to the corner and inflicted more punishment, hitting X-Pac with a series of punches to the face. After that, he tagged in D'Lo, and together they performed a tag team move on X-Pac. D'Lo was setting up for a move in the corner, but X-Pac countered and hit D'Lo with a Hurricane Rana. Then he tagged in Triple H, and together they struck D'Lo with a double team move. Now it was EspacioNX in control of the match. Triple H hit D'Lo with a spinebuster, putting the Nation in trouble. Triple H was looking to execute the pedigree, but D'Lo countered and hit Triple H with a sky high. This was D'Lo's moment to tag in The Rock, and he did. The Rock entered with intensity, hitting Triple H with a flying clothesline. Following this, The Rock hit Hunter with a spinebuster, driving the crowd into a frenzy. Skipping to the end, D'Lo was out of action after China's involvement. The Rock was blindsided, and X-Pac hit him with an X-Factor. Then, Triple H finished off with a pedigree to win the match. After the match was over, a brawl erupted between the Nation of Domination and EspacioNX. Kama and Mark Henry rushed to aid their leader, but the New Age Outlaws ambushed them from behind. Triple H put the cherry on top by body slamming The Rock right onto a ladder. Tonight, the Nation has fallen at the hands of EspacioNX. Now it was time for the main event, where Stone Cold was set to go one-on-one against Vince McMahon. Surprisingly, at the beginning of the match, Steve reached out his hand to Vince, and as Vince went to grab it, Steve pulled it away, enraging McMahon for making him look like a fool. Steve took McMahon to the corner and started to stomp him over and over again right in the chest. Then as Vince McMahon was leaning against the ropes, Stone Cold hit McMahon with a huge clothesline that sent him flying to the outside. Once on the outside, Austin was reckless, hitting McMahon against the announce table, throwing him around and slamming him into the barricade. Steve was doing exactly what he promised, and that was to whoop McMahon all over the arena. Finally, Austin hit McMahon with a Stone Cold Stunner, but all of a sudden the lights went dark. The Undertaker appeared right behind Steve Austin. The Undertaker grabbed Austin by the neck and hit him with a resounding choke slam. They fooled us all. They were all in it together. And just like that, it was time for SummerSlam. SummerSlam kicked off with a singles match inside of a steel cage between Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock. This match could only be won by submission, and ultimately, after applying the ankle lock, Ken Shamrock walked away with the victory. In the second match of the night, the Legion of Doom challenged the New Age Outlaws for the Tag Team Championship. After many interventions and a little bit of cheating, the New Age Outlaws were able to retain their Tag Team Championship from LOD. In the third match of the night, D'Lo Brown defended his European Championship against X-Pac in a singles match. X-Pac became the new European champion after hitting D'Lo with an X-Factor from the top rope to seal the victory. In the fourth match of the night, Triple H went one-on-one against the Intercontinental Champion, The Rock, in a ladder match. Triple H walked away with the victory after hitting The Rock with a pedigree on top of the ladder and later unhooking the belt to become the new Intercontinental Champion. In the main event, we saw The Undertaker going one-on-one against Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF title. Austin won the match after hitting the dead man with a second Stone Cold Stunner to seal the victory. CM Punk has just returned, but not everyone is happy about it. So in this video, we are going to follow Punk, starting from his first pay-per-view match at the Royal Rumble and ending at WrestleMania 40. And you won't believe how everything is going to unfold. Let's head to the parking lot where Punk is arriving at the arena. Punk is scheduled to kick off Monday Night Raw for the first time in almost 10 years. He just returned at Survivor Series, and we still don't have too many details about what's in store for Punk. Hopefully, we are going to learn more about his goals now that he is back, and maybe we can find out when he would like to have his first match, and if there's an opponent he would like to face in a one-on-one match that he has not faced before or that he would love to fight again. CM Punk, with a live microphone in hand, is heading to the ring to address the WWE Universe, which is very excited to see Punk back in a WWE ring with a WWE microphone after so many years, creating an electric atmosphere in the arena. Punk stands in the middle of the ring and says the following: "Last week, I stood in this ring and I told the world, I'm back. I felt the energy, I heard the chants, and I knew this is where I belong. But let's cut to the chase. Being back isn't just about nostalgia, it's about the future, it's about action. I've watched from the sidelines, seen faces old and new, champions rise and fall. But let me tell you, the landscape has changed, but the mission hasn't. I'm not here to tread water. I'm here to make waves." To the locker room, consider this a wake-up call. The bar has been raised. Tonight isn't just another Monday night. Tonight is where the next chapter begins. It's where I lay down the challenge. Who's going to step up? Who wants to test themselves against the best? I'm right here waiting because CM Punk isn't just a name, it's a standard. And I plan to elevate that standard higher than ever before. CM Punk has laid down the challenge to the locker room. Now the question is, who is going to step up to the best in the world? Punk leaves the ring while the fans are cheering, and he's heading to meet someone you know very well, the one and only Monday Night Raw general manager, Adam Pearce, who is looking to have a word with CM Punk about the future. Pearce says, "I'm very happy that you took my offer and did not go to SmackDown. With you right here on Monday Night Raw, we are undoubtedly the biggest sports entertainment show in the world. But I have to warn you that there are a lot of superstars who have confided in me privately that they don't like you being here on Monday Night Raw, so you need to watch your back." Well, they are in luck because here's the thing, Pearce. If anybody in the locker room has a problem with me, they can come and tell me directly to my face. That's when The Miz appeared in front of CM Punk and told him, "I have a problem with you. Do you think you can just come here on my show after all the bad things you've said about all the superstars in the locker room and act like you own the place?" Well, Pearce and Triple H might let you do whatever you want, but not on my watch and not while I'm still here. CM Punk responded to The Miz, saying, "Look, Miz, I know I have said a lot of things throughout the years, and a lot of them have been right, but many of them came from a very dark place deep within me. So, you might not trust me when I say this, but like I said to the people out there, I have changed. I am not the man that I was before, so if I ever did anything wrong to you, I'm not big on apologies. But I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings." The Miz responded in a very sarcastic tone, saying, "Oh, you're sorry? The big Phil Brooks is sorry about hurting my feelings. You know, when you should have said you were sorry before you got fired and humiliated in that other company. Oops, pipe bomb. You know, Miz, I'm fighting these urges deep inside of me that are telling me to slap the taste out of your mouth. But I'm not going to fall down that rabbit hole again. I'm going to be the bigger man and understand where you're coming from. I wish I could say it was nice seeing you." CM Punk walked away and headed to his bus to leave the arena and go home. A couple of weeks later, following a Miz TV segment, it was decided that CM Punk was going to face The Miz in a singles match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. This would mark the first pay-per-view match for CM Punk. And now that I think about it, the Royal Rumble was, I believe, the last WWE pay-per-view where CM Punk competed before he left. Probably many of you guys are not going to be happy with my decision to make Miz versus Punk at the Royal Rumble. And maybe I should throw Punk into the Rumble match and have him win, something he has never done before. But I don't know if WWE would pull the trigger on that one. Let me know in the comments what you think would be best, or if you have another idea for Punk at the Rumble. I mean, it would be pretty epic if Punk could come back and win the same match he left, but I'm sure people in the back would be upset saying, oh, bro, Cody left and came back and won the Rumble, and now Punk did the same thing. But I don't know. Write down in the comments what you guys think. Going back to the match, Punk hit Miz with his signature move, and now he was looking for the GTS. However, Miz countered and delivered his own signature move, stolen from Bryan Danielson, the It Kicks. Now it was Miz in control of the match, showing Punk whose game it really was around here in the WWE. And now it was The Miz who was looking to finish the match using his finishing move, the skull-crushing finale, but Punk countered at the last second. He lifted Miz and positioned him for the go-to-sleep, and The Miz is down and out. The referee can count to 10. CM Punk has just won his first pay-per-view match back in WWE, and the crowd is cheering him on. Now that the ship has sailed, let's see where Punk is going to take us next. CM Punk is arriving at the next location where his destiny is going to be decided, right in Perth, Australia, at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Adam Pearce has made the match to determine who is going to challenge Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania 40 for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The 6 men who are going to be locked inside this unforgettable structure are CM Punk, obviously, Sami Zayn, the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, main event Jey Uso, and finally, Finn Balor. In the end of the match, it was only Damian and Finn with CM Punk. But Finn did the unthinkable and eliminated Damian Priest, who was distracted with a roll-up. Then CM Punk hit Finn with the GTS to become the new #1 contender and the man who is going to meet the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania 40. CM Punk arrived on Monday Night Raw to address his win in Australia at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which made him the new #1 contender to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Seth freaking Rollins, who so far has avoided crossing paths with CM Punk. Punk, with a live microphone in hand, said the following: "Last Saturday night in Perth, Australia, history was made. In the unforgiving structure of the Elimination Chamber, 6 men battled, but only one could emerge as the #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That man is standing in this ring right now. Now, onto Seth freaking Rollins. Seth, you've been running your mouth saying you didn't want me back in WWE, calling me a cancer. That's a heavy word, Seth, but your words, they don't weaken me, they fuel me. You've avoided me. You've ignored me, but the truth is that you fear me. You fear what I represent, you fear what I bring to the table." That's when finally the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins showed up to join CM Punk. Seth Rollins was heading to the ring with a microphone already in his hand, and the arena was buzzing with excitement, knowing that it was about to go down. This was the first time we were about to see these 2 men together face to face in a WWE ring for the first time since Punk came back. And Seth said the following: "You know, Phil, you're right. Cancer is a big word, and one that I do not use lightly. But I don't retract a damn bit what I said." That's when security, alongside Adam Pearce, rushed to the ring to prevent something from happening between these two before their upcoming match at WrestleMania 40. Nevertheless, a match was made for the main event where CM Punk was set to face Dominic Mysterio. But before the match, Seth hit the challenger, CM Punk, with the World Heavyweight Championship right in the back of the neck. While Punk was down, he said, "I warned you not to come here." The match between Punk and Dominic still went down. Punk went for a move as Dominic was leaning against the ropes, but the latter was able to throw Punk over the ropes to avoid the damage. What Dominic didn't know was that Punk was able to recover quickly and launch a quick counter by hitting Dominic with a flying clothesline. Punk signaled the end of the match and was looking to put Dominic to sleep, and he did just that. Punk won the match after hitting Dominic with the GTS. But Seth Rollins, once again with the championship in hand, connected CM Punk with the WWE World Heavyweight title to end the show. Over the coming weeks leading up to WrestleMania, CM Punk and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins brawled with each other, and they got very personal in their exchanges. It got so intense that every time Seth and Punk crossed paths, referees and security had to intervene to separate them. Adam Pearce even tried to make them sign a restraining order that would last until WrestleMania 40 in an attempt to prevent these two superstars from harming each other. But this attempt by Adam Pearce failed miserably, as the personal differences between Seth Rollins and CM Punk only grew with each passing week. And in the blink of an eye, it was time for WrestleMania Night 1 at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. CM Punk was arriving at the arena for his match in the main event of WrestleMania 40 Night 1 on Saturday, where he was scheduled to challenge the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. It's crazy how life works, as this was the first main event at WrestleMania for both superstars. Even though they hate each other so much, they needed each other to fulfill this lifelong dream they had since they were kids, main eventing WrestleMania. And they had to share it with the person they hate. Very poetic, if you ask me. Seth Rollins was in control of the match, but not for long, because CM Punk anticipated a move from Rollins and dodged it. Now the challenger was in control. Punk then hit Rollins with a knee to the face, followed by a knee to the back of the head, which sent both superstars fighting outside the ring. The challenger was looking strong. CM Punk was showing why he calls himself the best in the world. Once outside, Seth regained control and sent Punk crashing hard against the steel steps. He then lifted Punk and let him land hard on the barricade, firing on all cylinders. The challenger was overwhelmed by the champion. Seth attempted to hit Punk with a flying knee, but Punk dodged it and responded with a kick to the head. CM Punk then executed a perfect plex, but Rollins managed to kick out at one. Punk went for a running high knee in the corner, but Seth countered and delivered a powerbomb. Seth then tried to hit the challenger with a pedigree, but Punk muscled Seth up and transitioned the move into an Alabama slam. Now Punk regained control of the match and finally connected with the running high knee, followed by a bulldog. This is the moment Punk can feel it. He is just a move away from putting down the champion for good and becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. Punk was looking for the GTS, but Rollins countered and hit a reverse DDT, followed by a sling blade. The challenger was rocked, and the champion followed up with a forearm in the corner and a springboard curb stomp. Seth Rollins defeated CM Punk, retaining his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Seth celebrated in the ring with Becky Lynch and their daughter. This marked the end of WrestleMania Night 1. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. But wait, Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest is here. Priest is cashing in his Money in the Bank contract. Not like this, Priest, not with his family in the ring. Damian Priest hits Seth Rollins with South of Heavens. Damian Priest with the cover, and Damian Priest is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Damian Priest has stolen the night from Seth freaking Rollins. Damian Priest has pulled off the heist of the century, just like Rollins did in 2015. I made the best universe mode, but it's 1990, and SummerSlam is upon us. Will I be able to make it better than the original? Let's find out. Week 1 kicks off with a tag team match between the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart of the Hart Foundation and the former champions Crush and Smash from Demolition. Crush and Jim Neidhart started the match, with Crush dominating the early beginning of the bout. However, after making a mistake in the corner, Jim was able to regain control of the match. Now the tag team champions were in control against Demolition. Bret was tagged into the match and executed a Russian leg sweep on Crush. However, as he attempted to guide Crush into the corner, Crush managed to reverse the situation and delivered a powerful boot to Bret's chest. Crush then tagged in Smash, and together, they executed a double team move on Bret. The current champions found themselves on the receiving end of a beating from the former tag team champions. But after bouncing off the ropes, Bret was able to turn things around, regaining control of the match once again. In the end, Bret executed the sharpshooter submission move, forcing Smash to submit and securing the victory for his team. The tag team champions prevailed against Demolition in this tag team bout. In the second match of the night, we witnessed Earthquake facing off against the Big Boss Man in a singles match. The bell rings and the match begins. Earthquake tries to use his size to dominate, but Big Boss Man counters with his experience and tactical approach. This is a classic matchup of power versus strategy. Earthquake, the man who's known for causing havoc, is up against the Big Boss Man's order and discipline. Look at Big Boss Man using his experience as a former correctional officer. He knows how to handle tough opponents, but can he handle the sheer force of Earthquake? Earthquake's showing why he's one of the most feared superstars in the WWF. His strength is just overwhelming. And there you have it. Earthquake claims victory, but what a fight put up by the Big Boss Man. In the third match of the night, we witnessed Jake the Snake Roberts going one-on-one against Bad News Brown. Jake was dominating the early portion of the match, but after a counter by Bad News Brown, Roberts lost control of the match. It was now Bad News Brown who was in control, dominating Roberts. But after Bad News Brown sent himself with nobody home, Jake Roberts regained control. By the way, if you've been enjoying these Universe Mode series, please remember to like the video and follow us. Back in the match, Jake was focused on targeting Bad News Brown's leg, attempting to weaken him with a sleeper hold submission move. However, Brown had some bad news for Roberts. He managed to escape the hold and retaliated by punishing Jake the Snake Roberts with a back suplex. At this point, Brown was determined to finish the match and hit Jake with his signature move. Roberts, however, countered with an elbow strike and swiftly executed the DDT to secure the victory. Now Jake has earned an opportunity to challenge the Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam. Now it was time for the main event, featuring the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Perfect, going one-on-one against the World Wrestling Federation Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, in a non-title singles match. Mr. Perfect, utilizing his pure wrestling and technical abilities, managed to take the champion down in the match. Hennig focused on targeting the legs of the Ultimate Warrior to gain an advantage in this blockbuster match featuring the two most prominent champions in the World Wrestling Federation, as the fans would often say. The Ultimate Warrior managed to make a comeback in the match, but once again, Hennig demonstrated his awareness by countering every move from the champion, effectively adapting to the intense wrestling style of the Ultimate Warrior. But in a sudden move, the Ultimate Warrior was able to turn things around and punish the Intercontinental Champion, Curt Hennig, with a gorilla press drop. To put the cherry on top, Warrior followed up with the Ultimate Splash to secure the victory in this blockbuster main event match. But out of nowhere, Rick Rude entered the ring and struck Warrior from behind while he was celebrating with the fans. Rude then proceeded to deliver a devastating pile driver to the Ultimate Warrior. But Hulk Hogan was there to make the save, removing Rude from the ring and coming to the rescue of the World Wrestling Federation Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, in the process. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Rick Rude, and Earthquake are all set to clash at SummerSlam in a fatal four-way steel cage match for the WWF title. Week 2 kicked off with a singles match between Jake the Snake Roberts and Macho Man Randy Savage. Randy started the match strong, dominating Snake Roberts in the corner and then employing low tactics to further damage Roberts, including scratching his back. But I guess Macho Man Randy Savage got too comfortable, thinking he had Roberts in the bag, and that's when the Snake was able to counter one of Randy's moves, turning the tide and taking control of the match. Now it was Jake the Snake Roberts who had Macho Man Randy Savage trapped in the corner under his boot. However, this dominance was short-lived, as Randy Savage countered one of Roberts' moves and regained control of the match. He followed up with a sequence that began with an inverted atomic drop and concluded with a clothesline. After delivering a spinning body slam, Randy Macho Man Savage climbed to the top rope and executed his signature move, the elbow drop, to secure the victory over Jake the Snake Roberts. In the second match of the night, we witnessed one half of the Rockers, Shawn Michaels, making his way to the ring to face one half of the tag team champions, representing the Hart Foundation and competing solo without Jim Bret Hart. Look at these two go. Michaels is all about the sizzle, the flash, the excitement. Hart, on the other hand, is the embodiment of technical wrestling, all about the stake, the substance. This is what WWF is all about: heart, passion, skill, and a burning desire to be the best. Michaels and Hart are putting on a clinic out there. This is a fascinating contrast of styles: Shawn's flamboyance and agility against Bret's technical expertise and strategic mindset. As the match reached its climax, Bret Hart demonstrated why he is considered one of the best wrestlers coming up in 1990. Bret was attempting to finish the match with the sharpshooter, but as he was about to lock it in, Michaels managed to escape the submission hold. Michaels then tried for a super kick, but Bret dodged it. Now Bret once again went for the sharpshooter submission hold, and this time he successfully applied it. Bret Hart emerged as the winner of this intense, fast-paced match between two of the top young talents on the World Wrestling Federation roster. In the third match of the night, we witnessed Crush from Demolition facing off against Road Warrior Animal from the Legion of Doom. Crush started the match, attempting to crush Road Warrior Animal, pun intended, but Animal quickly evaded his moves. However, Crush managed to send Animal to the floor after landing a powerful blow to the top of his head. Crush then attempted a gorilla press slam, but Animal fought back, delivering a pair of crushing elbows, pun intended again. Animal went for a suplex, lifting the big man high above his head. As Animal looked to hit Crush with a clothesline, Crush lifted Animal up and dropped him against the ropes. Crush followed up with a tiger suplex and then attempted a military press drop, but Animal managed to escape while high in the air. Animal hoisted Crush onto his shoulder and executed a Samoan drop. Climbing to the top rope, Animal delivered a diving clothesline, securing the victory and defeating the big man. Now, it was time for the main event, where Rick Rude was set to go one-on-one against the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, in a singles match. This match was made because of what happened last week when Hogan saved Warrior from a beating courtesy of ravishing Rick Rude. Rude had Hulk Hogan in the corner, inflicting damage to the abdomen of the Hulkster. Then Rude changed his approach and started to focus on the throat of Hogan, putting his foot right on his throat, not allowing the Hulkster to breathe. It was very smart by Rude. He first targeted the ribs of Hogan, and then he tried to stop the air from reaching his lungs. Rude was definitely targeting the lungs of Hogan. But the Hulkster wasn't going to be outmatched in a contest of strength against ravishing Rick Rude. Hulk was determined to show Rude who the strongest competitor was here in the World Wrestling Federation. Unfortunately for the Hulkster, Rude got out of the move and hit Hogan with his signature move, the swinging neckbreaker. Rude tried to pin Hogan to finish the match, but Hogan kicked out at a count of 1. Now Hogan is taking control with a series of clotheslines. Hogan follows up with a body slam, gaining momentum as he bounces off the ropes. There it is. Hogan drops the leg drop to defeat Rick Rude and win this match. But after the match was over and Hogan had already defeated Rude, Earthquake unleashed a savage attack on the Hulkster, hitting him with everything but the kitchen sink. With Hogan down on the mat, Earthquake aimed to break his ribs with an Earthquake splash. That's when the World Wrestling Federation champion, the Ultimate Warrior, came rushing to the ring to save Hogan. Warrior went right through Earthquake like a powerful train and got him out of the ring. Hogan then met with the Ultimate Warrior in the center of the ring. Considering that Hogan is set to face Warrior in a steel cage match at SummerSlam, did Warrior take too long to come to Hogan's aid? Week 3 kicked off with the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion Curt Hennig facing off against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The match started with the classic sequence of drop down and leapfrog, but as Dusty was bouncing back, he struck Hennig with an elbow to the head of the champion. However, as Curt rested in the corner, Dusty attempted to hit him with a running body splash, but Hennig evaded it. Now on the mat, the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion worked on the leg of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Hennig continued his attack, delivering a massive back suplex to Rhodes. Mr. Perfect then attempted the Perfect Plex to finish the match. But Dusty made a comeback, countering the move and surprising Hennig with a dropkick of his own. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, followed up with a body slam and a running elbow, concluding with a series of elbows to the head to win the match, defeating the Intercontinental Champion in the process. Coming up next, a battle of tag team specialists in singles action. From the Rockers, it's Marty Jannetty going one-on-one with one half of the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Jim Neidhart of the Hart Foundation. Matty was really taking control of the match after hitting a solid drop kick on Jim, and the crowd was getting into it. At the same time, Jannetty tried a high-flying move with a diving splash from the second rope, but Jim dodged it. Things were heating up as Jim started giving Matty a real beating, just pounding away. But just when it looked like Jim was about to finish it, Matty pulled off an awesome counter move and sealed the deal with his own finishing move, and the fans went wild. With this win, the Rockers and the Hart Foundation were all tied up in victories, setting the stage for an epic showdown at SummerSlam. Now, it was time for the main event, featuring Earthquake going one-on-one against the World Wrestling Federation champion, the Ultimate Warrior. This match was set up after Warrior tossed Earthquake out of the ring last week to save Hulkster from a beating. Warrior tried to take Earthquake down, but this time Earthquake didn't budge. And it was the World Wrestling Federation champion who fell at the feet of Earthquake. Earthquake inflicted a lot of pain on the Ultimate Warrior. However, when Earthquake attempted a second body splash, nobody was home as the Ultimate Warrior got out of harm's way. Now it was Warrior hitting Earthquake repeatedly. This time, Warrior made the big man fall after delivering a massive flying tackle. Without wasting any time as Earthquake was down, the Ultimate Warrior hit him with an ultimate splash to win the match. It was an astonishing victory, and Warrior pulled it off seemingly out of nowhere. But after the match ended, Rick Rude came to the ring and blindsided the Ultimate Warrior. Then, Earthquake joined Rick Rude, and together they began to pummel the World Wrestling Federation champion. Rude even executed his signature move on Warrior. That's when Hulk Hogan came charging down to the ring to save the Ultimate Warrior. Hogan clotheslined Earthquake, then clotheslined Rude, and followed up with a thunderous body slam on Earthquake. He dropped the leg on him, brother. Rude attempted to attack Hogan from behind, but Hogan countered, and Rude also found himself on the receiving end of a body slam. Out of nowhere, the Ultimate Warrior delivered the ultimate splash on Rude. Hulkamania and the Ultimate Warrior stood tall tonight, setting the stage for an insane, fatal four-way steel cage match at SummerSlam. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it was time for the hottest event of the summer, as well as a chance to see if we could create a better SummerSlam than the original. The opening match at SummerSlam was for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship, with Jake the Snake Roberts challenging Curt Hennig for the title. The atmosphere in the arena was electric as fans eagerly awaited this long-anticipated clash. As the bell rang, both wrestlers brought their A-game, exchanging high-impact moves and near falls, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. Jake the Snake Roberts emerged victorious after countering a perfect plex into a DDT to secure the win, finally claiming his first championship in the WWF. By the way, did you know that Roberts never won any title in the WWF? Well, we just gave him one, and it was a momentous start to SummerSlam. In the second match of the night, the crowd eagerly anticipated the clash as Crush and Smash, representing Demolition, faced off against the formidable Legion of Doom, Road Warrior, Animal, and Hawk in an explosive tag team showdown. The Legion of Doom emerged victorious after Animal and Hawk executed their signature Doomsday device, a resounding move that made the crowd pop and solidified their dominance at SummerSlam. In the third match of the night, we saw the former tag team of Andre the Giant and Haku going one-on-one against each other. Andre won the match after hitting Haku with his signature maneuver. In the original SummerSlam card, this match did not happen, as many of the matches we are seeing tonight. But hey, I did say I was going to try and make it better. In the fourth match of the night, we witnessed the Rockers facing off against the Hart Foundation for the tag team championships. The Hart Foundation emerged victorious as Maddie submitted to the sharpshooter submission hold applied by Bret Hart, allowing them to retain the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship belts. In the fifth match of the night, we witnessed Macho Man Randy Savage facing off against the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. After Savage missed with the flying elbow drop, Dusty was able to execute his signature move on Savage, securing the victory. Interestingly, this match actually did happen in the original SummerSlam card. Now it was time for the main event, where the champion, the Ultimate Warrior, put his World Wrestling Federation Championship on the line inside a steel cage in a fatal four-way match against Hulk Hogan, Earthquake, and Rick Rude. The Ultimate Warrior emerged victorious by successfully escaping the cage, thus retaining the World Wrestling Federation title. The atmosphere in the arena was absolutely electric as fans witnessed this high-stakes battle unfold, with every twist and turn keeping them on the edge of their seats. The Ultimate Warrior's triumph marked a memorable conclusion to an unforgettable SummerSlam. I made the best universe mode, but it's 1996. In this episode, we are on the road to In Your House, where The Undertaker is challenging Bret Hart for the WWF Championship. Will The Undertaker win and change history by facing Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12? Let's find out. Week 1 kicks off with a singles match between the 1-2-3 Kid and Razor Ramon in the opening match of Monday Night Raw. Right after the referee rang the bell, the 1-2-3 Kid pushed Razor Ramon, knocking down the official. These two kept on brawling, with Razor sending the Kid to the outside and then following after him. Once outside, the 1-2-3 Kid took control of the match after hitting Razor with a spinning kick, countering a punch. However, the 1-2-3 Kid's dominance wouldn't last as he missed with a spinning kick from the top rope. The 1-2-3 Kid managed to escape the beating courtesy of Ramon and turn the tables by hitting a jumping clothesline followed by a DDT. The 1-2-3 Kid was attempting a move in the corner, but Razor Ramon countered it. Then Razor Ramon executed a side slam on the 1-2-3 Kid. Razor Ramon was looking to follow up with a clothesline, but the 1-2-3 Kid dodged it and landed a spinning kick. Next, the 1-2-3 Kid delivered a Bronco Buster in the corner. The 1-2-3 Kid was gearing up for his signature move, but Razor countered and hit the 1-2-3 Kid with a fall-away slam from the top rope. Now it was Razor's turn to attempt his signature move, but the 1-2-3 Kid countered, and he executed a small package move to secure the victory. The bad guy Razor Ramon was furious, continually checking with the referee to confirm it was a 2 count and not 3, but the referee had to step in to calm him down. The 1-2-3 Kid couldn't have been happier, having just beaten the odds with a victory over Razor Ramon in the opening match of the night. In the second segment of the night, Big Daddy Cool Diesel made his way to the ring to address the fans. Diesel took a mic and said the following: "I was just thinking backstage about how I was going to work my way back up to becoming the champion again. With The Undertaker challenging Bret the Hitman Hart at the In Your House pay-per-view, and Shawn Michaels earning his ticket to the main event at WrestleMania 12 by winning the Royal Rumble, it appears that Big Daddy Cool Diesel won't be in the title picture for a while. That brings me to why I decided to come here tonight and talk to all of you, the fans." Diesel then said, "I have decided what my next move is going to be, and my next move is..." However, out of nowhere, the ringmaster attacked Big Daddy Cool Diesel with a stunner. But the ringmaster wasn't finished. He began to stomp on the former World Wrestling Federation champion Big Daddy Cool Diesel until a referee had to intervene and stop the ringmaster. But even though the official told the ringmaster to stop stomping on Big Daddy Cool Diesel, the former continued, and it was shocking. This was a new side of the ringmaster that the people had not seen in the World Wrestling Federation. The next match of the night was a singles bout between the winner of the 1996 Royal Rumble match, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and the British Bulldog, with Owen Hart in the corner of the British Bulldog. Owen Hart issued a challenge to Shawn, asking him to put his ticket to the main event of WrestleMania on the line in a match against him. Owen stated that it had been his dream to challenge his brother for the championship since they were little kids. But Michaels responded, "Why would I do something so stupid after beating 29 other men and winning the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row?" Michaels had a valid point, but Owen Hart was not giving in. He continued to push Michaels to give him that match and put everything on the line. Michaels initially had control of the match, but after being caught when he attempted a crossbody from the top rope, the British Bulldog managed to turn the tables. However, this reversal didn't last long because Michaels was able to break free from a submission hold, and now he was making a comeback in the match. He hit the Bulldog with a couple of inverted atomic drops and followed up with a body slam. Michaels then executed an elbow drop from the top rope and finished off the British Bulldog with a sweet chin music. After the match, Owen Hart jumped into the ring and they engaged in a heated exchange. Owens asked for that match again, and it seemed like Shawn was going to accept, but at the last second, Shawn pulled his hand away, further infuriating Owen. Owen Hart wanted to retaliate and strike Shawn Michaels after Michaels made him feel like a fool. Now, it was time for the main event, where the World Wrestling Federation champion, Bret the Hitman Hart, was set to go one-on-one against Yokozuna in a singles match. Yokozuna initially had control of the match and delivered a leg drop to the champion. However, as Yokozuna attempted a move in the corner, Bret countered with a clothesline. Despite the impact, Yokozuna remained on his feet. Yokozuna then tried a lariat, but Bret dodged it and responded with a series of uppercuts, followed by a dropkick that finally brought the big man down. Yokozuna rolled out of the ring to catch his breath, and Bret attempted to dive onto him from the ring, but Yokozuna moved, causing Bret to land on the floor. Yokozuna quickly threw the champion back into the ring. As Yokozuna tried to re-enter the ring, Bret went for a move, but Yokozuna countered and struck Bret. Yokozuna then had the WWF champion in the corner, hitting him with a series of knees to the face. However, when Yokozuna went for a running hip attack in the corner, Bret managed to evade it, and Yokozuna hurt himself in the process. Bret capitalized on this opportunity and immediately hit Yokozuna with a Russian leg sweep, followed by a standing leg drop. Bret attempted to finish the match with the sharpshooter submission hold, but Yokozuna somehow managed to escape. Yokozuna went for a clothesline, but Bret evaded it and used a small package to secure the victory. After the match, as Bret was celebrating, the challenger for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, The Undertaker, confronted the champion, Bret the Hitman Hart, with their match at In Your House rapidly approaching. This moment marked the end of the show and concluded Week 1. Week 2 of Monday Night Raw began with a singles match between Bob Holly and the Ringmaster, who had infamously attacked Big Daddy Cool Diesel the previous week while Diesel was addressing the fans about his future in the World Wrestling Federation. During the match, the Ringmaster dominated the early moments, pummeling Bob Holly in the corner with a series of punishing moves. Just as the Ringmaster was about to launch another attack on Holly, who was leaning against the ropes, Holly countered with a sudden clothesline that sent the Ringmaster tumbling out of the ring. On the outside, Holly slammed the Ringmaster into the barricade. However, the Ringmaster managed to turn the tide by countering one of Holly's kicks and nailing him with a clothesline. The Ringmaster sealed the victory with a stunner, claiming the win. After the match, Big Daddy Cool Diesel stormed into the ring, grabbed the Ringmaster, and delivered a devastating jackknife powerbomb, seemingly exacting revenge on the Ringmaster for his actions in the previous week. The second match of the night was a singles bout between Jerry the King Lawler, who had been verbally berating his opponent from commentary the week before. Unfortunately for the 1-2-3 Kid, Razor Ramon came running from behind and launched a surprise attack. Razor Ramon was still seething after suffering a loss at the hands of the 1-2-3 Kid last week, and he was determined to do whatever it took to get back at the Kid. The 1-2-3 Kid showed a tremendous amount of heart as he insisted on continuing the match, despite the brutal assault he had endured at the hands of Ramon earlier. At the very beginning, Jerry the King Lawler took advantage of a less than 100% 1-2-3 Kid. However, the Kid gradually fought his way back into the match, showing his resilience. He started taking the fight to Lawler, but Jerry managed to halt the Kid's momentum and began smacking the 1-2-3 Kid with a series of punches to the head. Jerry attempted to apply a submission hold on the mat, but the 1-2-3 Kid managed to escape and countered with some of his impressive Karate Kid moves. The Kid then delivered a powerful boot to Lawler's face, setting himself up for a Bronco Buster, a move that displayed a level of disrespect towards the King. With Lawler in a vulnerable position, the 1-2-3 Kid executed his signature move to secure the victory. After the match, as the 1-2-3 Kid celebrated, Razor Ramon's music echoed through the arena. The Kid searched for Razor, but the cowardly Razor Ramon attacked the 1-2-3 Kid from behind once again. It was clear that these two were on a collision course, building toward a potential match at In Your House. Speaking of In Your House, the next match was a #1 contendership match for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. Hunter Helmsley was set to go one-on-one against the British Bulldog in a singles match to determine who would earn the opportunity to face the current Intercontinental Champion Goldust at the In Your House pay-per-view. The British Bulldog dominated the match, delivering a series of punishing blows to Hunter Helmsley's back. Bulldog was intent on inflicting more punishment as he cornered Helmsley, but Hunter managed to evade him at the last moment. Hunter then connected with a jumping elbow that sent the Bulldog to the mat. Following this, Hunter sent the British Bulldog into the ropes and delivered a powerful clothesline. Hunter Helmsley was gearing up to execute his finishing move, the pedigree, but the British Bulldog countered the maneuver. Using his immense strength, the British Bulldog hoisted Hunter Helmsley onto his shoulder and slammed him against different corners of the ring, resembling a bull raging against its enemies. Hunter appeared to be worn out, and it seemed like the British Bulldog had the match firmly in his grasp. However, just as the British Bulldog was looking to seal the victory, Hunter countered and struck the Bulldog with a jumping knee. Helmsley then completed the comeback by hitting his pedigree finisher, securing the win in an impressive turn of events. Helmsley's victory set the stage for a clash between Hunter Helmsley and Goldust at In Your House. In the following segments, Owen Hart continued to stalk the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Fueled by a sense of disrespect due to Michaels' mind games, Owen took things to a dangerous level. He grabbed a ladder and was determined to not only injure the Royal Rumble winner, but also take his spot in the main event at WrestleMania 12. Owen was clearly willing to go to extreme lengths to achieve his goal. In the following segment, the tables were turned. While in the previous segment, it was Owen Hart taking the aggressive stance. This time, it was the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, The Undertaker, who was stalking the champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. The Undertaker made a powerful statement by delivering a resounding chokeslam to the champion, leaving a lasting impression as Week 2 came to a dramatic conclusion. Will The Undertaker be the last man standing? Week 3 of Monday Night Raw began with a rather unusual matchup between the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion Goldust and Mankind, going head-to-head in a singles match. The match was fairly even. However, Mankind made a crucial mistake, allowing Goldust to regain control. Goldust looked poised to execute one of his signature moves and continue with his characteristic antics. He hurt Mankind with a knee to the face. Mankind, though, managed to escape to the outside of the ring. Goldust attempted to strike Mankind, who was leaning against the barricade, but Goldust missed, and Mankind retaliated by pushing the champion against the barricade. Now it was Mankind who had taken control of the match. Mankind attempted to finish the match by applying his signature move, the Mandible Claw, but Goldust managed to escape from the hold. Seizing the opportunity, Goldust struck Mankind with a clothesline. The Intercontinental Champion then positioned Mankind for his finishing move, the Shattered Dreams, and Mankind found himself trapped with no escape. Goldust secured the victory by executing his signature move, the Final Cut, to win the match. In the next match of the night, we were scheduled to witness Big Daddy Cool Diesel in action, going one-on-one against Henry Godwinn. However, before the match could even start, the ringmaster launched a surprise attack on Big Daddy Cool from behind. The ringmaster was evidently seeking retribution after Diesel had previously hit him with a jackknife powerbomb. This rivalry had escalated ever since the ringmaster's sudden attack on Big Daddy Cool Diesel in Week 1. Officials and security had to swiftly intervene to break up the altercation as the ringmaster continued to pound on Diesel following his blindsided attack. The situation had become quite heated and chaotic. Henry Godwinn appeared to be taking advantage of the attack initiated by the ringmaster, and a pinfall victory over a former WWF champion would undoubtedly have propelled him to overnight stardom, regardless of the ringmaster's involvement at the beginning. However, Big Daddy Cool Diesel had no intentions of going down easily. Diesel managed to turn the tables, delivering a massive clothesline to Godwinn and following up with additional punishment in the corner. Diesel had fully regained control of the match and was signaling that the end was near. He hoisted the big man into the air and executed a devastating jackknife powerbomb to secure the victory. Diesel had made a powerful statement with this win. After the match had concluded, the ringmaster returned to the scene, taunting Diesel from the stage. Diesel engaged in a war of words with the ringmaster and began to make his way towards him, despite officials' attempts to intervene. It was clear that nobody could prevent these two from getting at each other in that arena. Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the ringmaster started exchanging punches, and more officials and security personnel rushed out from backstage to quell the chaos. However, both men were determined to fight each other, and it was now official. We were going to witness a showdown between Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the ringmaster at the In Your House pay-per-view event. The stage was set for what promised to be an intense and highly anticipated match. In the next match of the night, we were scheduled to witness Fatu going one-on-one against the bad guy Razor Ramon in a singles match. It promised to be an exciting showdown between these two competitors. The bad guy, Razor Ramon, had been dominating the match right from the start, leaving Fatu with very little opportunity for offense. However, the tide of the match turned when the bad guy attempted a move in the corner, but Fatu managed to evade it. As a result, the bad guy ended up slamming into the corner with significant force, injuring his back in the process. Razor Ramon began to stomp on Fatu in the corner, leaving Fatu with seemingly nowhere to go. However, the bad guy got greedy, and that proved to be his downfall. Fatu capitalized on the opportunity and struck Razor Ramon with a massive clothesline. He followed it up with a significant move that left the bad guy reeling. On instinct, Razor Ramon rolled out of the ring, setting the stage for a turn of events. As Fatu chased Razor Ramon outside the ring, Razor managed to recover and sent Fatu crashing against the barricade. Once back inside the ring, Razor Ramon unleashed a massive chokeslam. Finally, Razor Ramon secured the victory by hitting Fatu with his finishing move, the Razor's Edge. Razor Ramon emerged as the winner of the match in a hard-fought battle. After the match had concluded, the 1-2-3 Kid rushed down to the ring and attacked the bad guy Razor Ramon with a kendo stick. It was clear that Razor had pushed the 1-2-3 Kid to his limit, particularly after the assault that he had received from Razor the previous week. This heated rivalry had escalated to the point where a rematch between the two was inevitable, and it was now set for In Your House. In the main event, viewers were treated to a highly anticipated steel cage match between the Dead Man, The Undertaker, and King Mabel. For those who may not be aware, The Undertaker was wearing a mask during this period due to an injury inflicted by Mabel, who had reportedly broken both of his eye sockets during a house show or on television. The fact that these two were facing off in a steel cage match on Monday Night Raw made it a must-see event for wrestling fans. If you agree, don't forget to hit that like button. Mabel was initially in control of the match, but The Undertaker managed to break free from a bear hug and delivered a flying clothesline to King Mabel. The Undertaker then sent Mabel crashing into the steel structure, causing him considerable pain. The Undertaker seemed to have found his rhythm and was determined to dominate King Mabel. The Undertaker climbed the top rope and executed his signature move, going old school on Mabel. Ultimately, The Undertaker secured the victory by hitting King Mabel with a resounding chokeslam, sealing his triumph in the match. After the match had concluded, the World Wrestling Federation champion Bret the Hitman Hart rushed down to the ring and engaged in a brawl with The Undertaker. He even instructed technicians to lower the steel cage once again. The World Wrestling Federation champion had every reason to react this way, especially after The Undertaker had hit him with a chokeslam out of nowhere the previous week. For a moment, it appeared that The Undertaker was gaining the upper hand in this exchange with Bret. However, it was not an official fight, and Bret did what he had to do to maintain control and assert himself in this altercation. The tension between these two competitors was palpable, setting the stage for their upcoming championship match. The opening match of the night featured a highly anticipated battle for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship, as Goldust defended his title against the challenger, Hunter Helmsley. Goldust successfully retained the coveted World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship by executing one of his signature moves, securing his reign as the champion. In the second match of the night, the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships were up for grabs as Bill and Bart Gunn defended their titles against Zip and Skip, who were accompanied to the ring by Sonny. Billy and Bart Gunn successfully retained the Tag Team Championships when Bart Gunn executed his signature move on one of the challengers, securing their grip on the Tag Team titles. In the third match of the night, fans witnessed the highly anticipated rematch between the 1-2-3 Kid and Razor Ramon. This time, Razor Ramon emerged victorious by putting down the 1-2-3 Kid with his signature move, the Razor's Edge, to secure the win. It seemed to prove the saying that nice guys finish last in this intense showdown. In the fourth match of the night, Shawn Michaels faced off against Owen Hart in a pivotal bout. Shawn Michaels secured the victory by delivering his finishing move, the Sweet Chin Music, retaining his right to challenge the champion in the main event at WrestleMania 12. This win solidified his path to the championship match at the grandest stage of them all. In the fifth match of the night, fans witnessed a showdown between Diesel and an opponent who had been a thorn in his side, the Ringmaster. As the battle raged on, Diesel found himself winning the match, but the tide turned when the Ringmaster resorted to a desperate tactic, striking Diesel with a steel chair. This shocking act led to Diesel's victory by disqualification. Now it was time for the main event, where the challenger, The Undertaker, was slated to go one-on-one against the World Wrestling Federation champion Bret the Hitman Hart in a singles match. The significance of this match could not be overstated, as the winner would earn the opportunity to face the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in the main event of WrestleMania 12. The outcome had the potential to change wrestling history forever, adding an extra layer of excitement to the match. Bret Hart sent The Undertaker tumbling to the floor with a drop kick, and then he took the fight to the dead man with a suicide dive from the ring to the outside. Hart lifted The Undertaker and dropped him onto the barricade. The Hitman was poised to execute a move from the top rope, but The Undertaker evaded it, signaling that it was time to educate the champion. The dead man climbed the top rope and executed his signature old-school maneuver on Bret Hart. The Undertaker appeared ready to deliver a tombstone piledriver to Bret, but the champion countered and executed a piledriver of his own. Now, Bret Hart was determined to seal the victory. He locked The Undertaker in his patented sharpshooter submission hold, but The Undertaker managed to escape. The dead man grabbed Bret and delivered a chokeslam, seemingly on the verge of victory. However, Bret surprised The Undertaker with a small package, and the referee counted to 3. Bret Hart had achieved the improbable, retaining the World Wrestling Federation Championship and securing his place at WrestleMania. The Hitman would be heading to the grandest stage of them all as the champion. After the match, The Undertaker initially seemed reluctant to hand over the championship belt to the referee. It appeared as though he might be contemplating using the title as a weapon against Bret Hart. However, to everyone's surprise, he refrained from doing so. Instead, he reluctantly handed the championship belt to the Hitman, acknowledging and recognizing that Bret had emerged victorious and retained his championship. Bret the Hitman Hart extended a handshake to The Undertaker. Initially, The Undertaker seemed hesitant about accepting the handshake from the champion, but he ultimately did so. However, he made it clear to Bret that he still had his sights set on pursuing the championship once again. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and share it with your friends. If you want to see another year, let me know in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you in our next Universe Mode video. Goodbye.